must stop, cause my attitude, yeah, my girl love me for my imperfections, but I'm there with good intentions,
DFCRadio.com.
Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Roll up that
Woohoo! 2020 is upon us, motherfucker. The future is bright, and we're here to help you through this next year of cannabis fuckery and laws and regulations. This is Farm to Table Cannabis. I am the hydroponic chef. Welcome all. The kitchen's open. We are the only show bringing you edible reviews, cannabis news, and interviews with the top names in the cannabis industry. We're happy to be here as the first show of 2020. It's been a wild couple of weeks. I got a robotic vacuum cleaner. Nice. Christmas presents. Those are cool. And I also got a mini knife set. There we go. I got a new dog. Yeah, not a bad way to start the freaking new year. So I'm here. I'm keep you educated and medicated for the next hour. We've got a good show for you lined up. That voice over there at the co-host seat is none other than cannabis chef extraordinaire, the HighTimes top cannabis chef, Mike Moya. Thank you for coming on, co-host extraordinaire. This is your first time in the studio.
Yeah,
so,
finally, I'm here. After almost a year, right?
We're going to pop your cherry and give you a dab for that year you made us wait. And then
we're going to pop these edibles, too.
That's it. And then none other than Danielle from Space Cadet Edibles. Hey, and so this is going to be a extraordinary show because I feel like by the end of this, I want to be freaking stoned because you guys got a table full of goodies, and I got a little bit of an appetite. So we're the only show doing this, folks. So we like to test the edibles live on the air. We do a little a review, and we test the product. We talk about techniques and cooking with cannabis, and we like to bring you some news every week. So this year is none other, and we're going to jump right over to Illinois, who is they're dealing with it the most right now. The cannabis businesses raised a ton of money on the very first day of legalization, but dude, they had a supply shortage. It's like they always fucking do. And so recreational cannabis supply shortage happened, just as experts said. And on its seventh day, the Illinois recreational cannabis industry was marked with a shortage of supplies, long lines, and in some cases, shut down dispensaries. So, and no one was surprised. Day one in a week are not perfect. Farm Canada's Jeremy Urin said, but they're also going as well as anticipated. For months, just about everyone in the cannabis industry warned that supplies would most likely dwindle to zero after recreational marijuana launched on January 1st. As expected, some dispensaries closed completely this week, while others imposed purchase limits or sold only to medical patients. State law mandates that the medical cannabis users get first priority. They've also they have limited supplies, said James Urich, spokesman for Cresco Labs, and they're certainly out of some products and some strains. But we have rationed in place the beginning of the year to help the launch and make sure we could stretch out our product as far as we can to make sure everyone is served and many recreational customers as we can. And at Cresco's Sunnyside dispensary in Wrigleyville, Tuesday, customers waited as long as 4 hours in line in the snow for chances to try whatever they could buy. Queuing up the vacant bank and block away, patrons were warned about the purchase limits of one item per category: one flower, one concentrate, one edible. And that's what it's like to sit in the snow and wait for legal cannabis.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I've lived in Minnesota for a long time. So you're telling me that I can drive 8 hours for a cool trip and get me a good supply and come back home for a couple months? Trust me, all those other states around there, they all went to Illinois. Yeah. So they're just thinking about the Illinois people. They're not thinking about Ohio.
So that was an 8-hour drive and then a 4-hour wait.
Hey.
That was a whole fucking day.
I'm pretty sure for the experience, like Harold and Kumar, White Castle, I'm sure a lot of people were down to do that.
They could have watched The Irishman 3 times. It's a long-ass movie, y'all. That shit was wild. So let's go on over to Weed Maps in California, and they dropped thousands of unlicensed cannabis ads Probably some of them were expired and not paying their bill, and they just ran them for their platform. But
some
of
one of them.
yeah, some of the illegal shops still remain open. California-based Weed Mats has lived up to the pledge, and it's made in August by dropping unlicensed marijuana retail ads from its site by New Year's Day. But the caveat said that the self-published nature of the Weed Maps platform, combined with its lack of vetting ads before they go live, has given illicit businesses an avenue to keep at least a limited presence on the site. Several industry insiders said so. The inside of 2019 marked a key milestone for the online advertising giant and its critics in the legal California market, where they wanted, them to stop advertising for the black market, and they demanded it because of the illicit competition from the black market. So January 1st was the deadline for Weed Maps, and they followed through with erasing some of the maps from the ads. In an email statement to Marijuana Business Daily, Weed Maps said the hundreds of retail and brand partners we provided state license numbers, but the company did not offer specifics on how many ads were dropped on how many businesses are currently advertising on its site. So this was the right decision, a Weed Maps spokesperson said. However, the severe shortage of licenses in the state and the local level, it's making a real detriment to the industry at large. And I think that's really what the problem was they were doing a justice, and they were getting criticized for it from the legal side of things.
Yeah, of course.
Because there's a lot of, we'll call them gray market dispensaries or medical shops that they're not really allowed to advertise, but somehow their advertisement would be carried over from the pre-gray area. Now, they didn't have to take it down. This was a step siding with the white market. It's again another piece of culture took a little hit right now. And it's going to be harder and harder for people to get that cannabis in the medical side and for that black market side because, let's be honest, they're not paying taxes like they are at the dispensary. And so Weed Maps, you made a controversial decision. That was a hard one. You said you were going to do it. You did it.
We're still on there, so thank you Weed Maps for that.
And then, another way marijuana businesses are making money now, and they're raking it in, actually, is they're cashing out on real estate through sale and leaseback deals. Large cannabis companies are increasing their selling and their own cultivation and their processing and storage facilities and immediately leasing them back as a way to instantly raise tens of millions of dollars at a time when outside financing is scarce. So unlocking the value of real estate with a sale provides money that can be used to grow a marijuana firm's core business without diluting the value of its stock, which is a lot of way that you see people doing this. I can name a couple of people that have been on this show. They're really, really smart about getting that land and then working with the people and helping you get in there. But it seems like that's going to be a tactic that more and more folks are using. In December, Chicago-based Cresco Labs closed a $50 million sale leaseback deal in Lincoln, Illinois, with Green Acreage Real Estate, a real estate investment trust. Also in December, New York-based multi-state operator Columbia Care raised $35 million by selling and leasing back 6 properties in California. Illinois, Massachusetts, and its new capital partners based in Maryland brought the properties. So more and more, the list just goes on.
Yeah.
So it's not, dude, we talked about it for years on this show, and before the Heavy Tea shows pumped this. It's not the guys that got rich during the gold rush that were gold miners. It was the pickaxes and shovel guys. And you can see some of these big corporate entities when they have to answer to the investors. Well, what are you doing with all this legalized space that you've paid for? Well, we're renting it out and making more than we would be if we were growing cannabis. So. The
thing is that a lot of people have to spend money even before you get your license. So some of that money is already been gone. You don't even know if you're, moving forward.
That's it. And a lot of these deals are dried up before they even get plants in the building because there's so much financing that goes into it, and people are not ready for the bureaucracy. And that's enough to drive your ADHD crazy. And that's a good segue here because some parents are finding out that they're turning to cannabis to treat ADHD for children instead of Adderall. So diagnosis of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder are on the rise, and a lot of people get diagnosed that we're not sure if that's a good diagnosis or if it's just kids being hyper. But I know as a kid I was a hard fucking kid to deal with, so I know I was self-medicating. But some parents of children with attention deficit disorder have grown wary of Ritalin and Adderall, common treatments for the condition because of the stimulant and its side effects and potential long-term abuse. So now they're returning to doctors and who will prescribe medical marijuana instead. This is quoted as they've seen proved improved performance in school and happier and calmer kids at home, Elizabeth Spar said, a family medical physician in Verona, Pennsylvania. She told Insider that referring to how her pediatric patients at her own children with ADHD have responded to medical cannabis. While these drugs help some children with attention issues and concentration and have been approved by the USDA and Food Administration, they are not without risks. Adderall, for example, is a high Schedule II drug, which means it's a high potential for abuse or harm. Stimulants also come with a litany of side effects, including sleeplessness, lethargy, suppressed appetite, and stunted growth over time. We all know that little kid that was on Ritalin and just never grew up, right? Over time, children can develop resistances, and then this Adderall doesn't even fucking work anymore. So as with Adderall and Ritalin, cannabis increases dopamine levels, which can help a person with ADHD focus. But unlike those other drugs, medical cannabis is less likely to impair sleep or appetite or that other list of side effects. So an addiction is a lot less of a risk, too. Questions remain about its effectiveness, and the associated medical marijuana could exacerbate issues with associated ADHD, but I think there's a lot more study that needs to be done. And I'm not here to tell you to advocate for giving cannabis to your kids. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to give you the news, and you digest it how you want to. But there's lots of people out there, like Parents for Pot. If you need the information, it's out there now. There was a time where we couldn't even talk about this, or they would have laughed you out of a weed party if you even talked about a kid consuming cannabis to prevent Adderall ADHD problems.
I think my generation is where you can kind of see that issue where a lot of my friends were on all those ADHD pills, and once they got out of the insurance from their parents, it's like, and they couldn't get it themselves, or then it becomes an issue, and then that's when it trickles down to other problems.
Right.
So I think there should be a lot more testing. I know there's parents out there that are, willing to,
to do that, and I think it's the extreme cases that it's just like, God, there's no helping this kid. That's when I start wondering, like, well, is the extreme cases where we should be testing? Because that's we need those middle of the road cases, is what I'm saying, and you shouldn't have to be an extreme case to be able to get that opportunity. But hey, I'm not here to tell you to dose your kids. I'm just telling you the information's out there. So this is Farm to Table Cannabis. We got a good show lined up for you guys tonight. You can call in now. The phone line's open, 562-653-0707. Phone lines are working, all right? You can call in, win a magic butter machine. And speaking of phone calls, Saint, you want to line something up? I think it's that time of the night where we like to call local people in the industry and make sure they're on their toes about cannabis knowledge and grow knowledge and edible knowledge. And every once in a while, we'll throw on a funny voice and prank them and see what we get out of it. Sometimes we get hung up on. Sometimes things work well. Every once in a while, we get a sound bite. We haven't got a active shooter yet out of it, so I'd say all in all, it's a good bit. It's a good bit. So Soundman Saint's gonna dial some numbers over here, and I'm going to put on some of my ladies, man, and we'll see what we can get from here.
General Hydroponics, how can I help you?
Yes, did you say General Hydroponics?
Yeah, I was reading the book.
That is
Hydroponics.
That is superb. I just think that is just one of the most funniest things you could call now, and then someone say that. So, yeah, I was just curious because I had some questions about hydroponics, and you happen to say General Hydroponics. Now, we all know at the end of the day what I'm growing, and it's not tomatoes. And I just had a couple questions on how I could get bigger, not tomatoes.
Well,
does General Hydroponics make anything that make my not tomatoes any more superb?
Yes, they do. And that all depends on the genetics also. So if you have superb tomatoes from the get-go, they're going to be superb.
Well, these are definitely not some purple tomatoes.
Yeah, we have a couple of things. We have a starter pack that has a couple of different ingredients you can play with. We have a organic series and their natural flora series.
Now, I heard there's a big misconception about salt versus organics. Could I get your opinion on it for my not tomatoes?
That all depends on that's all personal preference.
So I used some fertilizer I bought from Home Depot, and all my friends called me the salty whore. I'd say that that's a little bit unfounded, wouldn't you? There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Definitely.
So you've been super patient with me. This is the Hydro Chef. I'm giving you guys a little prank call out of DFZ Radio Studio. Who am I speaking with?
This is Jesse. How you doing today?
What up, Jesse? Tell John I said what's up, man. This is the first time we've been able to get through to you guys where you didn't hang up on me in the first 30 seconds. So I'm going to send you guys some lunch courtesy of DFZ Radio. We salute you guys for knowing your knowledge. I love that you answered with General Hydroponics right out the rip. That was completely unscripted.
I was just reading all their stuff.
Well, if you ever got some questions, you can call in DFZ Radio 562-653-0707. We'll get your questions answered 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock. We're here every Wednesday night, bro.
Woo.
Where can they check you guys out at Discount Hydro?
You can check us out on our website at discounthydro.net.
And what's your address?
Our address is, let me pop this up.
That's okay. It's 4745 Ayers Avenue, Riverside, California, 92505. I got you covered, player. We do sound bites for you daily.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, cheers to you guys. We owe you lunch, DFZ Radio. Thanks for being such a good sport.
All right, have a good day, bud.
Get back to working and reading. All right. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, we have fun here, and you see, we like to keep him on their toes, and he's definitely on his toes. So
That was nice.
he was on point.
Good customer service. Right?
Great customer service. He didn't lose his patience with my speech impediment.
Nice tomatoes.
Not tomatoes. All right, we'll be back. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis, 562-653-0707. Next caller gets a magic butter machine.
Oh.
Side diesel in my blood, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blood, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. That's D. Got me smoking the bass, no stress cheese. Now hold up, now roll up. Check the situation, bout to go nuts. With a little bit of perk up in my cup. You could tell the bartender to fill it on up. That's alright, baby, work your stuff. And that's all night, baby, work your strut. You and your friends can ride when I go. Take a little spin in my Monte Carlo. Take a little dip, baby, show you how I roll. Take a little hit, baby, off on the hydro. Eyes so lit, make me look like my eyes closed. Purple drink mix, make me look like my eyes glow. Hypno Grey Goose with a little grape juice. That's how it is, so I'ma have to take side diesel in my blood. Purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blood. Purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. It's the ADX team with no doubt in between, and we stay fresh and clean when we hop on the scene, and we style on them, profile on them. If they wanna act crazy, then we wild on them. It's the S to the T and that Cambo G, either Maserati blue or the Lambo green, and that Chevrolet mean when it drop on the street. Either hating on you or they hating on me, and it's shaved up, raised up, drop it to the flow, got them blades to stay tough. And the candy on the bike, same color as sour. Catch me on the site, 100 miles per hour. This is my life, so this ain't ours. So I stay tight, so this is power. With the ADX team, you can call us some brave hearts. Sour diesel trees, you can call it the trademark. Side diesel in my blood, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blood, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. West Coast, crank it on up. East Coast, crank it on up. Midwest. West, Midwest, crank it on up. Down south, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blunt, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up.
ST, DJ Dale, Big Bell, Killer P, Chino with the OE, it's the 80X team.
We're back, DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis. So we had a little fun there. Thanks to Discount Hydro and Riverside for letting us have some fun and give them a prank call. You can
Definitely.
You can watch the replay of the prank call tomorrow on our web show and on our DFZRadio.com replay. So Danielle, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful day out there in Long Beach. They're working on the roof here, so apologize for the openings in the roof, but this is
Drop the top on the roof.
Yeah, this is DFZ Radio, so we known to let the top down. So, first of all, you got Chef Mike Moya here with you. You got the Hydro Chef here. We're going to put you through the gauntlet. We're going to ask you a couple questions about what got you into the industry, talk about your product, and this being your first appearance on the Farm to Table Cannabis show, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from in the side of cannabis and cooking.
So, hi, my name is Danielle. I come from South LA. I'm from San Pedro and Harbor City area. And I moved to Oceanside in 2012, tried cannabis in 2014, and from there my life changed. I went off of all medications by 2015. For fibromyalgia, I later discovered I had Ehlers-Danlos and other conditions. I have migraines every day, so I use cannabis religiously.
So bona fide medical cases led you to cannabis.
Yeah. Everything about my health led me to cannabis and the curiosity to find something that didn't make me feel bad, because a lot of medications that they were trying me on had a lot of side effects, and I knew that I wasn't what my conditions were, and I could rise above that using some other form of care.
Well, it's very forward thinking of you for the time too, because a lot of people we get so far into believing what the next generation tells us or the previous generation before that, and drugs were bad, and self-medicating was bad, and we go back to the article we talked about earlier with the ADHD, and I feel like I've been treating myself for years with that, and I feel like cannabis was a way for me to find out what worked for me. It doesn't always work for other people, though.
Right.
And it's unfortunately, cannabis can lead people to believe that other things might be more necessary for them, and in other ways, it's also a healing factor. So, for a healing factor for you, how was it able to, change the stigma and the perception of what you thought about cannabis? Because you didn't grow up smoking cannabis; you found it later in life.
Well, I grew up with a bunch of crazy people, so by that I mean long after they pass, I will be able to talk more about what kind of level crazy, but criminal in the way of hurting children. And I saw a lot of addictions, but I never once heard of the word cannabis, never heard of even pot until later. I heard people talk about drugs and see people on drugs and alcohol and see how they
And you notice something there. For all the abuse you might have seen and even possibly endured or witnessed, none of it was cannabis related.
None of it. And if someone in my family had smoked cannabis properly or had any brain about them, I feel like they would have been here today, because they would have figured out how to help themselves better and kind of step outside of their own mental bubbles and problems. But with cannabis, I had a stroke a few years after I started just smoking, not every day, just kind of got into it. And when the doctor believed I had a stroke and sent me to the hospital didn't care. They admitted me. They didn't do testing. They separated me from my service dog, which at the time was not okay, and everyone in the hospital room stood up for me, which was beautiful.
So you got a service dog in the hospital?
Yeah, and I had another girl that came in with lupus and was the same age and treated for a stroke. I was not treated for a stroke. Basically ended up ripping out the IV because they were going to discharge me with no testing.
Right.
So I couldn't feel it in my left side either way. So I healed my left side using cannabis, specifically CBD. But that was after I started working in the cannabis industry. I was in delivery services, kind of in the black market industry, before I really knew what that was, really what that was and what it entailed to be not in black market specifically, but in companies that don't really watch your back. I was mugged. I went through a lot of different things as a delivery driver.
The industry's a motherfucker, right? Like it's not for the weak. And that's one of the reasons that people are going to ask her, like, what is she doing here? Like, what is she? She didn't start smoking weed until 2014, and that's the thing that even if you were to get into this industry and to be able to be around and be in the industry is short of a time as you've had, but make the connections and find the group that you had, you must have been doing something right, which leads me.
Read.
Yeah, well, also being educated helps, right? But knowing the culture and understanding that this is a gift. This thing that we call the cannabis industry, this plant that we love so much, it's a gift, and not everybody appreciates it, and that's when you see they don't become a part of the industry, they don't get accepted. Now, one thing that you've done is you didn't just get accepted, you came out with your own way of healing and teaching people, and that's really one of the reasons I brought you here today, because I saw you're doing it in a different way, because there's so many bottled products out there. Now let's talk a little bit about what inspired you to bring a product out, and how you're able to heal people with it.
So my product, aside from just me, has been able to help people anywhere from skin conditions with burns and bites and things like that to, with my case, I have tremors, and I regularly consume cannabis. My left side I've healed.
Byproduct of the stroke?
Byproduct of the stroke, although I did have some tremors before, so I think it's a little bit of both. With CBD, I use the source CBD that we use in our avocado oil
Shout
every
out
day.
to Jen. All right.
Young Jen, thank you very much for having some of the best CBD products out there. And also, avocado oil for me is exceptionally versatile because I can use it in my baking, I can use it in my savory cooking, and I can use it on my skin. So I don't tire of the product at all. I'm able to use it in so many different ways, incorporating in my life, that I'm able to talk about it with people from, I guess, minor issues when it comes to like maybe some dry skin, anywhere from cancer and strokes and PTSD. I have CPTSD, so I understand with PTSD it's very aggressive, and with CPTSD there's no known cure.
And it comes out of nowhere for people. They don't know what triggers it a lot of the time. It isn't necessarily a memory for some people. It's a situation. It's a smell. It's it's an emotion.
Right.
So with that being said, and the avocado oil wasn't an easy route to go because it is a little bit more of the delicate oil. It's got, I believe, a lower smoking temperature too, right? So
no, actually, so
the
way it's purified when they do the extraction of the avocados to the oil, it's so pure, and it's at the quality where you can do it up to 500 Fahrenheit. So I actually use it in baking for that reason, and frying, because I don't like to use any other oils for frying. You can use the traditional
Now, Chef
stuff.
Mike, you've got experience frying and cooking. You've seen cuisine from all over this great world. You cook a lot with avocado oil?
No, not. I know that it's on the rise. I've heard a lot of other chefs using it. I've just been so involved with our going to coconut oil that I haven't really been able to.
That's why this is a great show tonight, because we've got the savory guy with the sweet guy with the savory chick, because she does the savory. A lot of your cuisine, I've noticed, is savory, and everything you do from it screams it in your name, and it's a sweet based brand with the tropical flavors. So we're gonna get into some of those in a minute, but the avocado oil. What are some of the opportunities you have to infuse with this? What technique would you use? Because it intimidates me a little bit.
A big way we're finding with people, and the feedback we're getting, is that salad dressing is a big way to go.
I was going to say that. That's a big one right there.
Salad dressing alone, I've had estheticians put it in their face masks. So now we're working
So
on
it can be used as a
spas.
topical and as a
it's a win-win
edible.
for both of us. And considering I do have skin issues as well as internal issues, I like to have something that I can use both of, period, and it be safe. So it's food quality, and it's technically a topical.
So how are you infusing it?
I infuse it with every dish I do. I do a portobello dish at home with spinach and shallots, and I'll actually fry with that. I just got an air fryer, and I've been having a lot of fun, so I've been making a lot of fries, a lot of good fries, no deep fried foods, but I'll do like sweet potato fries, and I'll put a couple drops of the CBD.
So it's good as a dressing and a condiment. So avocado oil. Now back to my original question. I can't remember. Is it a lower smoking point or higher smoking point? So you can get the temperature on that really high and get that sear, get that lock in the juices to a vegetable or a protein. Now, when it comes to making the dressings, are we talking about a CBD infusion or a THC infusion?
So this is CBD. The reason why we went with packaged CBD products as opposed to packaged THC products is because we're not quite there yet. It is really just me and my spouse just dealing with it day in, day out. So we're building, we're growing, and with the CBD products, we feel we can get into more places openly and have education events where we can talk to a diverse range of people dealing with things. Plus, where I live in Oceanside, there's a lot of Marines, there's a lot of servicemen, and they can't consume, so it's been a tough battle trying to find people that can't have any THC in their system, that they can have CBD isolate products.
So, and that's one thing that I wanted to ask you guys about, you know, the isolate, the distillate versus the full spectrum. I mean, people that want CBD, they're not understanding all the time that if you're buying gas station CBD, you're probably getting 0.03 THC.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not separate, you can't guarantee you're not going to fail a drug test later because it builds up in your system. THC,
Right.
the more you consume of the CBD product with the THC in it, the more the THC is going to build up in your system.
Well, I think the issue with the CBD thing is that people we're using hemp-driven CBD, so we're able to use it, and ship it and be able to sell it not just in California but all over the country.
That's with hemp CBD.
That's with hemp CBD, not cannabis-driven CBD.
Right. Hemp drive, because we have people, I've had patients anywhere from New York to Washington, and there's certain places obviously you can't use THC, so right now it's been kind of the journey to do more tours and find communities that need CBD products, that need education, need the general why and how behind why people are using certain products, and find people that need it. I like direct to patient. I believe that every patient counts and matters no matter what you're dealing with. It may not be something where it's debilitating every day, but it's still a useful product to know how to deal with it for first aid. I teach people how to have a first aid kit that's natural, so you can have your your antibiotics and your steroidal stuff, things like that, but you can also have CBD, which is just as effective as a lot of products out there.
Well, you were talking about CBD as a topical. You talked about skin issues and how it's been able to alleviate some of that. What is it about the endocannabinoid system and the epidermis? I'm
still learning more, so I wish I could comment about that further. I just know that with my skincare, I've always consulted estheticians on this type of knowledge. That's why I never really got into it as a full topical game, because I understand there's a lot of companies out there that are the esthetician behind the business and know the skin way more than I do, but from personal experience, it's helped with my psoriasis, my eczema, and my seborrheic dermatitis.
And so, I mean, it's the way I've heard it pitched is resetting the immune system almost, and then your body has its way of fighting. And
especially if it's compromised.
When you're able to boost your immune system, you're giving your body the tools it needs to be able to fight some of these conditions that previously you'd have to take something heavy, a medical topical ointment to get rid of, could easily be cured by something, say like an avocado, cannabis, or a CBD oil, or even an olive oil infused with some THC. And I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to encourage people to medicate at home, learn about healing, and then maybe even cook something while they're at it. So your product can be used as a topical. It can also be used as an edible. How many milligrams per tablespoon or teaspoon?
So the way that we worked it out is per dropper, just because I know most people usually use the dropper system, and it's about 33.33 milligrams. Reason is it's a 500 milligram bottle.
Okay.
That we do in 15 milliliters, and that's how we've been able to dose it. So if you take a couple drops of it each time. What I recommend, though, is if you're going to use it for frying and you're going to do a big batch, just do a couple drops of this in any oil of your choice, because it blends well with coconut and olive oil, too.
All right. Well, that's what's up. We're going to get Chef Mike to give us a couple of ideas on how we should put that to use in his cooking, and then we're going to come right back with a commercial break, and you call in 562-653-0707. We got one more line open. You can win a magic butter machine. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis. We'll be right back with the second half of the show.
Of a kind, like the fusion of a rhyme with the rhythm, keep it time. wanna fly, but they said it can't be done. But they said the same thing about everything else, and look at how far we come. We can't be stopped, I'm taking it to the top. But whatever comes my way, it's okay, it's enough now. To fear your dreams, cause it seems to be impossible. With every hour being powered, undeniable. Is that the best that you can do? Giving up on living dreams, procrastinate on the memories. You don't got much time to lose. Hesitate and it's too late. The more you wait, the more you're wasting. Do you really believe you are on the safe side? Living on wasted time. Do you really believe you are on the safe side? Living on wasted time. We can make the most of taking it coast to coast, a healthy dose of the good times and the bad, cause adios. I can't quite remember the quote someone wrote. Someone said it, I forget it, but you know the one I'm on. My dreams burn like fire. Tried to put it out, but the flames got higher. Not just to drop in the ocean, you're the ocean in a drop. Don't block up my flow, cause we just can't stop. Is that the best that you can do? Giving up on living dreams, procrastinate on the memories. You don't got much time to lose. Hesitate and it's too late. The more you wait, the more you're wasting. Do you really believe you are on the safe side? Living on wasted time. Do you really believe you are on the safe side? Living on wasted time. Is that the best that you can do? Living on wasted time. You don't got much time to lose. Living on and on and on and on and on. Do you really believe you are on the safe side? Living on wasted time. Do you really believe you are on the safe side? Living on wasted time. Wasted time. Do you really believe you are on the safe side? Living on wasted time. Do you really believe you are on the safe side? On the safe side. Living on wasted time. Is that the best that you can do?
DFCRadio.com.
I've been up 6 days. I've been up for like
All right, we're back. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis. About to give a magic butter machine away to the next caller. 562-653-0707. This has been a fun show. We've got moving on to the second half of the event, the chef extraordinaire. So, Chef Mike Moya, HighTimes top cannabis chef himself. So, I've competed in that Top Chef competition. That shit is not for the weak.
Wait, so did you compete against Chef Brandon Allen?
No, I competed against Chef Marcus, who is the NorCal Top Cannabis Chef.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Marcus. He beat me fair and square. I fucked myself.
In the final?
So you know how you're supposed to plate 4 plates? I plated 3 and walked away with my hands up like, yeah.
No way, really?
And I used every ingredient too. So I was going to get like extra points for using the ingredient. Even if my food was crap, but still I used every ingredient. Fuck. Anyway.
That was one of the dopest experiences, I'm not going to lie.
I judged the meals before yours. Remember, I was a judge in that.
Yeah, I remember.
This fucking guy was up there throwing it down. He didn't even break a sweat. Everyone else up there it was a hot day too. Everyone up there is fucking sweating. He's up there like, I don't know what it is. You're just from the South, so you're used to fucking being hot.
Oh, yeah. Texas, baby. El Paso, Texas.
That's right. So, dude, you've been doing the medicated things way before you were the HighTimes top cannabis chef.
Yeah.
And, this was your brainchild. This idea, bringing your culture and the candy and the infusions together. So let's just hop right into the dulce. And you tell me, man, what inspired you to go with these flavors? And I mean, a unique product altogether.
Yeah, definitely. I've been like a kitchen baby my whole life. Like I told you last time, I've been in the kitchen my whole life. A lot of my family members are chefs. Some of the younger generations are chefs as well, just from seeing our careers. So. I wanted to do something for our culture. Obviously, I'm always proud about being Mexican, Latino, Hispanic, whatever, we're all brown people, whatever it is. We all go through the same problems. I never really saw a product like mine, so I wanted to make sure we can make a statement with the Hispanic and the flavors. And then the whole microdose started as an error, I guess, and we kind of just stayed with it. We got a lot of we got a lot of hate at the beginning of it for not being that many milligrams and that as strong. But as we started to explain people how the process is and why our product is better than most, higher quality, from scratch, ingredients that you can read, that you can make yourself, So it was just a good opportunity for me to show off the culinary skills and try to get into that market. I came here right before 64 and a little too ahead of 215. So it's been a 5-year struggle trying to get there, but we finally have a good deal online to hopefully in the next 6 months be in the closest dispensary near you.
And so it's happening.
It's happening. We started with 4 different products. The polvos are cookies, the Fiesta Bites, and 2 types of gummies. But as of now, we're going to invest our time and go straight shooting for the gummies. We're going to have 4 different flavors. Besides our chili watermelon and pina colada, we created a new horchata flavor.
Oh, man, you are getting the quintessential Latino flavors.
Horchata flavor, and our coating is a sugar cinnamon coat. So it's completely different than your average gummy.
And you talked about microdosing. So these are small pieces infused for your pleasure with the classic flavors you grew up loving. Or if you were me, I didn't discover tajin and those flavors till I was a grown man. Motherfucker, hold on, let me do my Bane.
That sucks.
You were raised with the tajin.
Right?
I hadn't discovered chamoy till I was yet a man.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I think that's where we hit home run, was with our chili watermelon, being able to capture, like you said, you didn't get a chance to really experience it till later. For me, it's like since I was a kid. So me still till now, when I eat one of those chili watermelon gummies, it's just like
nostalgic
flashbacks, man, just hitting back and forth. So being able to do the shows, the 215 shows around, and now being out in Santa Ana and getting the reaction of people,
because they were grind. You went from the black market to the white market.
Yeah,
and I mean, you say it was a long grind, but to me, bro, that shit happened fast for you.
Okay, yeah. I guess we're blessed to be in this opportunity, to have this opportunity. But I mean, quality speaks for itself, and I think me staying true to what we believe in and making our product with coconut oil extraction made from ourselves, and not having to go to a middleman and not know where your infusion's coming from. I think staying true to that is what led us to have this opportunity to still do the things we do and be different than most of these edibles out in
because there's so many Me Too products. That's what you don't have, is you have something that's strictly unique and original to yourself.
Exactly.
Now let's try one of these flavors. Do you mind
Yeah,
popping
let's
one?
go.
And I mean, this is for education and entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
Let's take a phone call while you're popping that, all right? And we'll discuss what flavor it is as we take the question. So we're gonna go out to Los Angeles. We got it says Noli, but that ain't your name ain't Noli. What's up? Shut your radio off. Welcome to Farm to Table Cannabis. I'm all up in your ear hole. I'm about to sing you a song. We about to get real personal with you, Noli. What's up, Noli? You ever been on Farm to Table Cannabis before? It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Hello?
What's up, Noli?
It's Noemi.
Oh, it's Noemi?
Yeah. It spells money when you mix the letters around.
Money, but
Ooh.
sick. I was gonna say like
that's a nice one.
no Emmy, like Leonardo DiCaprio. Hey, so what's good? You're calling in the Farm to Table Cannabis show. You got some edible questions, or you just want to win a magic butter machine?
I want both.
Hey.
So go ahead, ask your question.
Yeah, so it's the first time I'm actually calling, and I'm calling because I know Space Cadet.
Uh-oh. She's calling out names.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks to her, I actually heard about you guys, and it's the first time I'm actually listening to you guys, so...
Well, we appreciate you calling in and getting educated and medicated with us. Now, since you don't have a question, I'm going to start asking you questions. Is it weed or edibles? How you like to medicate?
I like both, but I prefer flower.
All right, she says flower. Okay,
Me
okay.
too.
I'm a dabber myself. I'm a dabber. A dabble do ya. Dabbed if you do, dabbed if you don't. I'm sitting here trying some of this horchata cannabis-infused artisanal gummies from a homie over here, Chef Mike. Now, rice flavor. It's the sweet
fire,
rice
bro.
candy. Now, I'm gonna have to set down a phone or the gummies, and I'm not setting down the gummies.
Pop some in and just let me know, like.
Now, let me ask you something, Nomi.
Yes.
If you had won a magic butter machine, what's the first thing you're gonna make?
I would make probably brownies. I was always into making brownies, cupcakes, and things like that until my mom actually ate one of my cupcakes.
Oh no, she dosed her mom, dude.
Yeah, man. Abuelita approved.
Well,
Yeah, she had really bad experience, so that's when I realized that they actually work.
I'm gonna toss it over to the local CBD expert. If you know somebody and they, took a little too much THC, do you know a way to maybe counterbalance that effect there, Danielle?
So counterbalancing is first starting with breathing and then getting to a CBD source. CBD does help with the entourage effect, which I find effective in battling a little too much THC. But for me, I've done anything from check myself with my breathing, drink some water, and eat something to using CBD, and I found that effective.
Mike, what about you? What have you experienced?
I've from reading and just trying to avoid that problem, because
you don't have that problem with yours. You microdose. You do it right.
People
don't sit there and eat the
people
whole bag.
Still eat the whole bag, and then like, oh, they messed me up. I'm like, bro,
And bitching at
I told
you later. Yeah, you don't eat the whole bag.
Yeah, but citric. Anything with citrus, orange juice, something with a high level of citrus, it usually helps you balance out as well.
Oh, that's good.
With
That's good to know.
With edibles,
okay.
yeah.
And then always hydrate.
Don't forget, guys, we got cake in here too tonight.
Oh, you got cake too. So we're gonna. She's like speaking to you guys getting over medicated.
It's not medicated.
Yeah, but we might need some CBD to bring us back. So, Nomi, we're gonna hook you up with. We're gonna hook you. It's Noemi. Get me right on there. I want to say your name right.
Noemi.
It's Noemi. It's Noemi.
Noemi.
And
All right, thank you, Noemi. And now we got you with the magic butter machine for calling in DFZ Radio Farm to Table Cannabis. You didn't have to pay nothing tonight but attention. Thanks for coming in with the question, talking to Space Cadet Edibles and Dulce, top cannabis chef from HighTimes, Mike himself. So stick around. The screener's going to get your information, or you can just DM me your address and I'll come eat all your edibles.
Right.
all right.
All right, that's what's up.
Thank you guys for actually, doing this and having people call in and tune in and, having awesome people to speak. And, Chef, thank you for doing it out there for, the Hispanic community. I'm part of that community, so I know what it is.
Yep,
and
we're here.
You know what time it is.
We're here. We're strong.
Ain't
if
going
you see
nowhere.
us out there, help us out.
Yeah, todo para la raza.
Así es.
That's right. Support your local Latino edible maker.
Véngase, con todo.
All right, let's take.
Yeah. And
Let's.
if you guys just follow us, Hemp Twins, Hemp_twin, and I started an organization with my twin sister at a college campus.
Nice.
So we actually educate about hemp and all the benefits. We have hands-on workshops, hands-on experience, panel discussions, and we have an upcoming fashion show all made out of hemp. And
I was about to mute her, but she keeps getting better.
Bro, I'm down, bro. Let's go.
yeah, so follow us at IHA Hemp. So, yeah.
And then next month we would be having Danielle over here as a guest speaker.
All right. Well, here's your invitation. You guys can come in February and promote your guys' brand, and we'll get some of the listeners out there to check out your guys' education courses, and we love to promote what you guys do. So thank you, Nomi. Thank you. Shout out to the Hemp Twins.
Yeah.
2020 Twin is your guys' year.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Have a good
Cheers.
one.
All right. So hey, we're gonna take one more caller. We got Steve calling from. Where are you calling from? Maryland?
Yeah, Maryland.
Well, that's what's up. Thanks for calling, Steve. What you got going on? It's about almost 9 o'clock over there where you're at, right?
Yeah, just about.
You guys, you getting medicated over there? Now you ain't going for the Ravens, are you?
Oh, you know it, man. We're ready for them 49ers for the rematch, man.
Caw. He's out there.
Yeah,
he's
ready.
letting it be heard. All right. So now,
We have.
now,
Go ahead,
now, before you represent too hard, now I see you got a question for us regarding some hard candies.
Yeah, man. Actually have a magical butter machine, but before I made like brownies and shit like that with regular butter, coconut oil. But for hard candies, is there any like tips that you would recommend? And
My first tip is
also-
to use the lectin. That's the first thing I'm going to throw out there because that's going to help increase your uptake, and it's going to help your high last longer, and it's going to make your ingredients go farther. All right.
Okay.
I heard a second part to that question. Go ahead.
I mean, just any other like base ingredients that you would recommend with making like hard candies.
I like playing with terpenes. What do you guys think?
You want to just keep it very very basic, very classic.
More
straight
ingredients,
up-
the
yeah.
more shit that can combine. And
It's the more problem.
Yeah.
The way I infuse hard candy is straight distillate or whatever wax we're gonna throw in there. Coconut oil or can of butter, it would be too much of the oil to get the numbers that we're looking for, so it wouldn't work. That's why you have to go direct with a distillate or some type of wax to really get that mixture infused.
All right. See? So, dude, you got good questions. I'm going to send you a accessory kit from Magic Butter Machine since you already got a Magic Butter Machine. Let's get you some of those hard candy molds. Let's get you some of those, the glove, the official glove, and we'll get you hooked up, all right?
Sweet, man. I appreciate it. And,
Steve,
I had one other quick
go ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
In your honest opinion, what do you think would probably be, one really good, reputable CD company out there on the market that's available to like anybody?
I mean, right off the rip, you go ahead, take this one, Danielle.
Phoenix CBD is my top company for CBD products, anywhere from flower, and I believe they even have dabs of CBD.
You said Phoenix CBD?
Mm-hmm. Phoenix CBD is
They only
where we
get
our
erased
source
like every
products.
month.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, their quality. I know the owner is an amazing soul, and also we source our CBD products through them. So I would recommend them.
All right, that's what's up. So we got a couple more lines we got to get through right now. Stay on the screen. The screener's going to get your info, or just DM me your address, and I'll send you the accessories and come eat all your edibles.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for calling in,
Good
Steve.
Good luck to them 49ers.
Hey, good luck to those Ravens. We'll see you guys in the Super Bowl. Cheers.
Yeah, man. Take it easy.
Later. All right, we got Brandon calling in from Dana Point. What's up, Brandon? You want to know about microdosing? So here's what to do. You take the mushroom, you put it in your mouth, you chew, and next thing you know, you're 10 feet tall. You're 10 feet tall.
Hey,
And go ask Alice.
I've been getting up to like 1.2 grams.
Oh, shit. He's pushing it to the limit now. That's no longer microdosing,
right.
for the record.
Nope.
You're a full floating addict.
No, it seems pretty nice. I get a lot of energy. Well, right now I'm like kind of sick, man. So I just been laying in bed for a couple days.
Were you working on the farm or what?
Yeah, and up there.
You know what
in the
I've heard a
mountains.
lot lately is farm flu. Yeah, it's a fucking son of a bitchin' thing right there. The farm flu. It'll dry.
I've had to farm once.
It'll dry you up worse than space AIDS. You see what
That's
happens
crazy.
is the fucking trichomes. They get all up in your lungs, right? It's the same concept as when you see these chads out there selling packs, and the chads. It's the middleman that does this. It's never the dude that grew it because he's fucking smart because he's a farmer.
Of course.
All right. The fucking chad will grab the pack and he'll suck all the air out of the pack, to make it more compact. And that fool doesn't realize he just sucked in all the bacteria, trichomes, potentially mold that was on that pack. Hey fool, I don't know, Brad. Why am I so sick, Brad? Well, fuck, fool, you've been sucking on trichomes, Brad.
Tainted.
I think that's what's been happening.
Damn,
bro.
Brandon, you're fucking awesome, brother.
Yeah, man. I just want to call in and say what's up. I've been eating these caramel edibles from this lady in Irvine, and they're about I think 250 milligrams approximately. I eat those before bed.
And then you wake up 3 days later high still.
Right.
No, like.
So we're about medicating responsibly around here. That's why we got these micro doses.
Lab tested, abuelita approved. That's how we do.
Yeah, lab tested only.
There's no fake numbers on our side.
But Brandon, did you have a question for the HighTimes top cannabis chef?
Yeah, I wanted to just know like what the regular dose is for a microdose and an edible, like a caramel.
So legally, you have a 10 milligram piece. That in California, that's the most you're allowed to have per piece. So I can have 10 cookies at 10, makes it 100 milligrams, and that's as much you can have in a pack. We consider a microdose 1 to 3 milligrams. A standard 4 to 7, and our macro dose a 7 to 10 milligrams. And that's how we are able to explain to people, the beginners, and my product's not really to get you super medicated. It's meant for you to understand what the medication does to you at certain points, meaning certain numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, whatever. We give you 50 gummies at 2 milligrams. That gives you a good play number to, figure that number out so you feel comfortable in doing all the things you got to do.
Because you want to medicate responsibly. Not everyone's like Brandon out in Dana Point where he consumes fucking ultra mega dose.
300 milligrams.
How hard can you dose?
Kind of an exception to that. That's what got me into
250 was a small dose.
It's a very small dose. You'd be surprised what 2 milligrams can do to someone that's never smoked. I doubt myself all the time, like, I should be stronger, and then I take it to a party where no one's consumed it before, and 30 minutes later he's 6 gummies deep, and bloodshot eyes, feeling great, groovy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Feeling groovy, but everyone has a different tolerance, and that's what we offer. We offer a good, reliable, consistent product where you can learn how to control, the THC effects. That's obviously with our coconut oil and our products. Everybody else does different infusions and different types of waxes and different kinds of extractions. So you got to be aware of that and those types of feelings that product going to give you.
Dude, Mike, you're so fucking knowledgeable. We
Wow,
appreciate you
man,
keeping everyone
it's been 5 years,
up. On the CB game, Daniela, we appreciate you keeping us educated. This is fucking awesome. We're going to take one more caller, and I want you to introduce the next flavor before we let Brandon go. What's the next flavor we got on here?
The next flavor is our margarita. It's a margarita flavor.
So again, sticking with the classic roots, he's got the margarita flavored CBD flavor. Brandon,
Margarita.
check him out. Where can you buy it at, Mike?
Right now we're just direct sales at Dulce_Inc.
All right.
Just hit us up.
Check him out, Brandon. Next caller, we got Isaac calling in from Norwalk. What up, Isaac?
Yo, what's up?
Is this the terpene god himself?
The terpene god himself.
Oh shit, it's about to get terpalacious.
What up, what up?
What up?
Thanks for calling in.
Wanted to shout out the hydroponic chef and Saint for holding it down out there.
Yeah.
Oh, good times, man. Many moons you've been supporting.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Keep making those dope logos.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. I really appreciate that. And that interview you guys had with Masonic, too. Shouts out to him, too.
That was good times, man. And Masonic brings out some crazy people, and all those crazy motherfuckers calling in saying the most wildest shit they could say and get away with it. It was like who could offend who the most. But hey, shout out your sticker Instagram.
Thank you. I appreciate
No,
that.
give it out. I can't say it. You got to say it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was just saying mad love to me. Terpene God.
There you go.
My Instagram.
Check out
Thank
Terpene
you.
God. He'll get you get your logos. You get everything taken care of. You might even get some terp squirt. All right, man. Well, thank you for listening, man.
Yeah.
We're about to check out one more flavor over here from HighTimes top cannabis chef, Mike. And, we'll catch you on the next episode. Keep calling in. You can always win again.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Cheers,
Hell yeah,
Terp
good
God.
looking out.
All right. So, dude, we got the margarita. We got the horchata.
And these all have different coatings. So the margarita has a special blend of like sugar, citric acid, and salt. So it's like a perfect balance of the coat. Plus you get the margarita flavor. It's just it's one of my favorites now. Besides my chili watermelon, obviously, my number one. But yeah, all of our gummies give you that extra, not just flavor, but we go the extra route, and we really put a lot of thought into making our edibles.
So pina colada, margarita.
Pina colada, margarita, sour blueberry with a collaboration with Cali Cultivator Farms, one of my favorite flowers to smoke. Chili watermelon, obviously our number one. Our pina colada with our coconut shell coating. Classic and then margarita and our sour blue. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's and the horchata with the. You already smashed them all.
I gotta try that watermelon one.
Bro, I got you.
Hell yeah.
So that's it, man. Farm to Table Cannabis. We get you laced up. And Danielle, before everyone goes, what's the next event you're going to be at?
So the next event, it looks like I'll be at an event at Syndicate down in San Diego. It'll be a makeup party with Ari, where I'll be doing infused foods for everybody doing makeup that day.
And you're a classically trained home chef.
Yeah, home chef. I've just been looking at recipes my whole life and figuring out healthier and more effective ways to make them happen.
That's right. Keep spreading the love. We're glad you got to come in here.
Yeah.
And if they want to buy your products, how do they find it?
So if you go to spacecadetcannabisedibles.com or you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you can message us anytime. And we, if there's an event in your area and we're coming up for it, let us know ahead of time, and we'll be able to fulfill the order by then.
This ain't no gas station CBD products, guys.
No.
This is some serious boutique craft CBD products.
We are in San Diego shops. We're working on going a little further north than that. We have Miss Smoke Shop in Long Beach, and we have Pure Water Health Solutions in San Diego, and they're both an alkaline water store and a CBD store that does education events.
That's what's up. So keep telling everybody the amazing healing powers of CBD. We appreciate you. We salute you. Hydro Chef approved, officially Space Cadet. Now, we've also got a special prize that you brought me. I feel like I won the lottery with this one. This is 300 milligrams of jelly.
No, we just made like a purple drink, to make a purple drink.
Oh my gosh, should I just down this whole thing like this, or should I mix it with something?
No, yeah, it's meant for you to mix it with some lemonade or some Sprite.
I'm drinking it.
I wouldn't expect any less.
Fuck, I'll be fucked up. Wake up in 3 days later.
Yeah, we like to, do custom orders for close friends and families and stuff, and a lot of people don't want the heavy hitters, so we accommodate as much as we can with the time we have.
Well, and speaking of time we have, that's it for us tonight. This was an awesome, fun, educational episode of Farm to Table Cannabis. The HighTimes top cannabis chef, Mike Moya, man, you always come correct. You always educate. You've always got the awesome products. I can't wait to see what 2020 comes for you. You're going to be killing it. When these products get to the dispensaries, it's a no-brainer. It's locked in.
I appreciate it.
Come again here. Hydroponic chef approved. The Dulce Inc., man.
Appreciate it, man.
Doing big
we'll
things.
Be back.
So,
appreciate the time.
Everyone else, keep tuning in. Heavy Tea Grow Show starts next. You can call in, get your questions answered, and every week, Wednesday night, we're hooking you up with magic butter machines, cannabis grow knowledge, and cannabis cooking knowledge. Farm to Table Cannabis, hydroponic chef approved. Other than that, we out.
Hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Chefs in the kitchen and they chopping up hydro. The hydro chefs in the building and they rolling up hydro. Hydro's in the kitchen and they cooking it up. Hydro, let's go. Hydro's in the studio. Chop it up. Up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Roll up. put the hydro, roll up, I roll, now I put the